guys, welcome to my channel, Just Breezy. Excuse me as I fix myself here. And of course, as soon as I start speaking, somebody has their lawnmower or something going on outside, but that's okay. We will get through this. For anyone who stumbles upon this live, my name is Bree. And I like to make videos about things that I'm passionate about. Sometimes I try to be funny. Sometimes I try to bring awareness to things. And a lot of times I like to go live to chat. So I wanted to come on today and talk to all of y'all. And if any of you were part of my morning live on Facebook, this is a little repetitive. I apologize. But I wanted to talk to you about something that happened yesterday at my daughter's school. Very relevant for everything that's going on in the country right now, okay? So my daughter's in 4th grade, and they have been talking openly about the election process. Not so much about the candidates, really not appropriate, but about the election process and what it means to vote and all of that good stuff. So she goes to school yesterday, and a child was asking the other kids, who did you vote for? As if at 9 they're voting. But you know what I mean. It's more like, who did your family vote for? And a lot of the kids were telling this child, we voted for Trump, we voted for Trump, we voted for Trump, we voted for Biden. We live in a very Trump-heavy community. And he comes to my daughter and he says, who did you vote for? Hi, Walt. And she said, I don't want to discuss that. It's private. It's personal. Because that's what we told her. There's no reason to discuss that. So he goes, okay, I'm going to put you down for Trump because that's who you should have voted for. Okay. So no surprise, we didn't vote for Trump. I'm very transparent about that, whether you agree with it or not. Not really the topic of debate right now. So she goes, you can't do that. We voted for Joe. So he gave her a little bit of a hard time about that. A couple hours later, the kids are outside for recess. And this particular child, along with some other children, decided to have a Trump parade at recess, not really sure where the lunch monitor was. And they're marching around, Trump, 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 Trump. And then decide to pinpoint, target, focus on my daughter and another girl and another kid who had voiced that their vote, their family's vote, was for Biden. Boo, Biden, and they're chasing them and running after them and yelling things at them. Dear Lord, it's like Facebook in real life, right? And I'm like, what the hell? So my child comes home and she's like, Mom, I need to talk to you. We have a very open relationship, which I'm very thankful for. And she said, Mom, this is what happened today. And she was upset. And she's like, you know, I did what you said. I didn't want to discuss who we voted for or anything like that, but I felt like I needed to when he was like, okay, I'm going to put you down for Trump. She's like, because that's not right. I'm like, you're not in trouble. I understand. You're fine. And then she's like, and it really wasn't okay that they're chasing us on the playground and making us feel like we did something wrong because this is who we voted for. And I'm like, you're absolutely right. 100%. That shouldn't have happened. So I was sort of like boiling inside, you know, because I just don't do well when kids aren't respectful of other kids. And I don't want to hear because I'm a liberal. Stop. And if you weren't going to say that, I apologize. I'm just a little on the defense these days. But I don't do well with that because I just feel like, could you all just be kind to each other? Don't make each other's lives a miserable living hell, right? Your children. So, and I apologize. I realized that I put my phone in airplane mode so that I wouldn't get phone calls. Let me see something. I think airplane mode also makes it so I don't get comments. So if anybody has commented, I apologize. I'm not ignoring you. I don't see it. I just took it out of airplane mode. Maybe that will fix it. So I was kind of like, what do I do with this? I can't just sit on it. Like many schools, many classes, we have our Facebook pages. And I'm like, you know what? Maybe I just put on our classroom Facebook page, hey, listen, I just want you to be aware this is what happened today. Maybe we can all sort of agree that, to talk to our kids just about being respectful of each other's opinions. And then I realized, I don't know if everybody's going to take well to that, you know. And I don't want to deal with the inbox of messages. Was it my kid? Please. I didn't want to deal with that. So I called the school. I called the school looking for the teacher. It was 4 o'clock, thought maybe she'd be there, and she wasn't, and that's okay. School was over. And I was like, can I talk to the principal? Not to get the kid in trouble, but just to discuss that this needs to be addressed. And the principal wasn't there, so I spoke to the next person in line, and I said, listen, this isn't because this child said Trump, and it's a bigger conversation to have, right? It's a conversation about, first of all, it's none of your damn business. You shouldn't be asking the question. Second of all, you need to respect your classmates and their opinions, right? And the fact that you may not all see eye to eye, but you definitely don't go chasing kids around the playground, yelling things at them because their political views at 9 years old don't line up with your family's. Stop. And my concern was, and I said this to the school, and then the teacher did wind up calling me. We had a lovely conversation, mind you. So my concern is the election, the results aren't over. And when they are, whether it's Trump or Biden or whomever, the kids need to realize they can't come to school and make it a hostile environment. Hello, Ed. But they can't make it a hostile environment for the other children in class. Like that, the world is hostile enough. And it's going to be that way for all of us adults because that's what we create, right? We've created that. But there's no reason now for kids to have to endure that because of a sign that their parents put on their house or a flag that their families are riding around with, or they said we voted for Biden or we voted for Trump. Like that can't be what the school day is made up of. Bullying because of what their parents decided. So we had a big conversation with the person at school, and I was very happy with the conversation. I felt heard. The teacher called. She had explained that they had been talking about the election process, what it means to vote, as they should. The kids should know, this is the process. And she said, we don't talk about the candidates. That's not appropriate. She words it in ways of, we'll have a vote about our favorite food in class or activities and all that good stuff. I will say, though, there are some classes, and I don't know if any of your children are in a class, where the teacher or the school has decided to do an actual vote. Who would you vote for, Biden or Trump? And I have to say, and you don't have to agree, and that's okay, I think that's a really dangerous activity to do with 9-year-olds. Any year-olds that aren't 18 and above, there's a reason why we have that right to vote. Because at 18, we should understand a little bit more about the issues and what's at stake and have our opinions heard and our voices heard and our votes counted and all that good stuff. And granted, when the kids are voting at school, obviously it's not counting. But really, what are they voting on? What is a 9-year-old voting on? Trump or Biden? They're going by what their parents have said. They don't know that it's pro-choice, pro-life, immigration, the state of unemployment, job creation, the new Green Deal. They don't know that. Most of them don't anyway, right? So I'm kind of against, the teachers or the schools that are in favor of let's have a Trump-Biden vote. Do something cute. What's your favorite, popcorn, pretzels, whatever. Have the kids do a secret. That's awesome. That's cool. Teach them about the Electoral College. Teach them about all of that. I think that's fantastic. But I think what we all need to sort of focus on, and I'm guilty of it too, going on social media, posting something that I know is going to trigger some people, but it's truly what I believe in, and I'm kind of like, man, whatever. But I think we need to take a look at what are we saying in our homes in front of our kids? What are we saying? I really sat back and I'm like, what have I said in front of both of my kids? I have a kindergartner and I have a 4th grader. They know we don't support Trump. They know what we're in favor of. I've explained to them to a certain level what the issues are that we are passionate about. I'm not trying to impose that on them. They're 5 and 9. Worry about did mommy give you, the Dorito color you wanted and you're pissed that I gave you a healthy snack and you wanted the Dorito. That's what you should worry about at 9 and 5 years old. Not the state of the world as far as who we're voting for. So I had another conversation with the kids yesterday and I said, listen, as you know, a winner has not been declared. We don't know who the next president is going to be. This is what we hope the outcome is. If it isn't, we are not going to put our head in the sand and cry about it. We are not going to make our friends and family feel badly for their vote and their choice. We will decide to become active in the matters and the social issues that we're passionate about so that we can make a change and a difference. That's where we're going to focus our energy on. And if Biden wins, we're not going to come to school like none of that's happening. Won't tolerate it. Absolutely not. My kids want to talk about things they're passionate about. They want to stand up because they're against bullying and they've made that, that point very clear at school. Have at it. But for any of the kids, and I'm not trying to parent shame, I'm just sharing my own experience. For any of our kids to go into school and make any of those kids feel badly because of our decisions of who we voted for, because of signs we put on our lawns or you put on your lawns or flags that you've flown, is unacceptable. I'm sorry, it is unacceptable. So again, not parent shaming, not trying to tell anybody how to parent. Lord knows I am not the perfect parent. But I do think there come times, just like for myself, where you have to sit back and sort of like do a little self-evaluation, right? Like, what have I been exposing my kids to? What have I been saying? Have I spoken to my kids about respecting the opinions of others? Have I spoken to my kids about not going to school and you voted for Trump? You voted for Biden? And what I realized is that I had that conversation with my 9-year-old, but I didn't have it with my 5-year-old. Because I'm like, you're 5. But I'm like, no, there's a lot going on in the world. And he absolutely knows who we support. So I don't want him to be that kid going in, oh, you have to support Biden or, but I don't want him being that kid. And I could see him being that kid. But anyway, so I wanted to share because like I said, I got in touch with the school, got in touch with the teacher. I was really happy about the conversations. I felt heard. I felt like it was going to be resolved. And I think it's just something across the board we need to be aware of. Period, end sentence. So thank you for listening. If you have a comment or an opinion, even if you don't agree with me, that's okay. You can put it on there. I just ask that it's not like, seated in hate, because there's no reason for that. But if you have another thought on it, right? Or if you agree, whatever, feel free to comment. Would love to hear your interaction on that. And, I wish you guys all a good day. I really do. I wish the following days, if it doesn't go your way, if it doesn't go my way, that we find a way to focus our energy or our concerns or our passions in a good way. Paul Parker, potato chips is at the L. For less than, that's greater than. Potato chips are greater than pretzels. I would have to agree. There's no argument there. Greater than, yeah. Especially, can we get an agreement that if it's sour cream and onion and barbecue, that even brings it up a level. I'm just saying. I will never turn down a plain potato chip. No. What? Paul, I thought I knew you. No. Lay's, buddy, Lay's, 100%. Plus they're gluten-free, so Frankie could eat them. Lay's. And then, if you're not, it's okay to be wrong, Brie. It is okay, Paul. So just put your head down and pat yourself on the back and just calm yourself down. You are okay to be wrong once in a while. Although Paul Parker, my friend, he probably makes his own potato chips. So I forgot who I'm dealing with. And you're against the A1 sauce and the ketchup and the applesauce on the steak. Don't get me started with that. So I understand why you would be against sour cream and onion and barbecue, because you don't mess around with that stuff. Okay, so Utz, is that how we say it? Utz? Utz is greater than, where did that comment go? Greater than Lay's and Y's? We really need to reevaluate our friendship. I don't know if you could be my emergency contact anymore. You're like, fine with me. Pringles? Plain Pringles, though. None of the flavors on the Pringles, because the flavored Pringles are just, those are gross. I believe it's boyfriend, according to Urgent Care. That is true. That is true. You were my, according to Urgent Care. Pringles isn't a real chip. Dude, what is happening in our lives right now? What is happening? You have the whole voting conspiracy theories going on out there, climate change, and now this. Paul Parker is saying Pringles are not real potato chips. Pringles is the Kanye West of, of the election. Oh, that's actually fantastic. I will tell you, getting a little off topic, but this is important, guys. It's important to talk about the issues. Pringles, I could only manage maybe five, because they're really hearty and they're very filling. And I feel like if I go beyond 5, I start to get sick to my stomach. Whereas Lay's over Y's, Lay's, I could house an entire bag if needed. If ever needed, if anybody's life depended on it, I can hoover those puppies in like nobody's business. But I'm really concerned that you don't like sour cream and, who is that? Sour cream and onion or barbecue. Who are you? Paul Parker? Doritos? Do I even ask? Cool Ranch, right? Can we agree on Cool Ranch Doritos, man? I mean, I won't turn away Nacho, but really, if we're looking at if we're looking at quality, I'm going Cool Ranch 100% all the way. Nacho cheese is greater than Cool Ranch. That hurts my feelings a lot. Good, please go. I gotta go anyway. All right, guys, thank you for listening. If you're not a subscriber, you know the deal. Would love for you to become a subscriber. You push the button subscribe, you click on the bell so you don't miss notifications, all that fun and fabulous stuff. And feel free to comment. Feel free to comment on your chip choices. Feel free to disagree with Paul Parker, or feel free to agree with me. All right? Have a good day, everybody. Love y'all. Bye.